So yeah, it's the increasingly infrequent moment in the week when I don't really have to worry about not having a lot of time ahead of me because of either something I gotta do or having to go to sleep because I gotta get up early. Well, who knows? I feel like there's enough time like that on the weekend, to be honest, but there's the trouble with the weekend is that it tends to be very much not fixed as to when I actually have something to do and when I don't. So I don't know if I'll actually end up doing much of this during those days, but I can at least try to do it at this time. But yes, hello, we're back. Hello to whoever may be present. Hello, Chakokeki, and whomever, as I delve back into Deadly Premonition, in which I will probably try to see if I can beat the vanilla game, at least, like I said. I don't really know how successful I can expect to be in that regard, but I can definitely try. There's, let me see. There's a few chapters left to go, but there's not much, or that much more going on as far as stuff left in the pot. Also, you might be wondering what that, some of those noises were that you may or may not have heard while the pre-stream stuff was going on. And I guess I can show you because I probably don't want to read or to leave this unfinished. Let's see if this thing is even gonna show up in the window capture thing. Apparently it is, but it's not gonna show up very well. That is weird. And yes, that is supposed to be the window. What happens if I click this? You can see that. You can see a very the same thing that I saw in the preview, which is like a very weird thin grey strip, which is not what that's supposed to look like. Let me, I don't know, resize the window a little bit. A bit automatic, I don't know. Maybe instead of doing it this way, I should do like software capture. That would be weird if this somehow worked better than window capture for this, but I can try it. If this even shows up, there it does. Oh, okay, for some reason I guess that's gonna show up fine. Even though window capture doesn't, but yeah. But yeah, I've been trying to teach myself Weeb to some extent for the past few months, you might say, which involves doing, or at least the most involved part of it that I've been doing, involves doing these cards for not really a set amount of time, but just like going through X amount of cards each day, as you can see at the bottom there. That's pretty much what I have left, so with any luck it shouldn't take super long to get through the rest of these, and I do want to do that because they do reset at midnight, which is only in like a couple hours, so I did check the meaning for this particular card earlier, and I think it means like danger or infrequent or difficult. I think it means difficult. Can't remember the pronunciation though. Let's find out what it is. It's none. I literally saw this just a little while ago. I already forgot it. Anyway, this one means either early or fast, but these are kind of interchangeable. So I think it's either Soul or Soku. Is it Soku? It's Soul. Let's pretend that didn't happen. And say it was fine. Let's do not the optimal version anyway, but yeah. And then there's this one which is Mandel, which is Tabi, or Taba rather by itself, but when it's without something else, it's like it might be the Ren from Ranchu, which is practice, I don't remember. Is it the Ren from Ranchu? I mean, no, it's Soku from, oh wait a minute. It's, oh no, that's the wrong thing I was thinking of. It's not the Ren from Ranchu, it's the Saku from Yakusoku, which is Promise. So let's, once again, mark it as hard. Oh crap. This one, I remember it's Incur or something, which is like a weird thing to design to a character by itself. But that doesn't matter because I'm pretty sure it's not used by itself in vocabulary. It's he anyway. They need to like speed this up. Okay, so now that this is Nan, we know that this, well, this is something else. This is like reviews. It could be from any time. This is called something. It could be something else. So I'm pretty sure this is Lullaby. Komoriuta. There you go. This is Surete, which is not just something you shout when you want someone to get in a car. It's also a way to say everything. This is like a numeral, ordinal, counter something, which is stupid, but counter, prefix, whatever, that should count. I guess it's specifically prefix and not counter, because usually counters come at the end and this comes before that, but... crap, what is this? Abundant, wealthy. And it's, yeah, this one, I do remember, it's explosion. It's what this, where it goes, call in this particular thing though, anyway, which is a perfectly legitimate conversion, I should say, of Wanikani, which is its own thing, as an Anki deck. If you don't know what any of those words mean, that's okay. Tatamiru, I'm pretty sure how you pronounce this, it's like too warm something. Which, it doesn't want to take that particular combination of words, but it does say that's what it is, so that's what we're going with. Crap, was this one? No? It was he. Oops. Let's see, this was... what should we call it? Pretty sure this kanji means to take with you, but I can't recall what the thing is supposed to be. Oops, okay, this one I do remember, it means earthquake, but the reading though is Shin, I believe, yeah it is. This one is price, I think which is Sho, this one is Ryoku, which is the first 2/3 of Boryokudan, which is a word that I saw for the first time while playing the game. Gemini-Ru, this is, which does make it easy to remember, I find. When you have like different sources of knowledge for the same thing to complement each other, but let's see, we saw this was abundant, which was you, yeah it was, okay. This is Muishiki, which is awareness, unconsciousness, involuntary, I'm gonna count that as hard. And then there's this one, which was an interesting addition, it means but, and it's shitty, and you can pretty much see what the applications are for that on the vocabulary there. Anyway, this is Anchor one, which is he. We're gonna get this right. Hatishte, I'm pretty sure how you say this, and it's Hatashte rather, not Hatishte. That was my mistake. I think it's to die. There's like, I think that's like Hataru or something. It's something that you say the same kanji, but this is something different. This is really, oops. This is Newmon, which I believe means entrance, or something like that. It's gotta be admission. This, oh boy, this is the Batsu from Saibatsu, that's how I remember that one. This is a tail, which I think is just B, which I was trying to write there, but I guess I hit enter too early. That's okay. This is borrowing money, I'm pretty sure this is... what should I call it? Well, the second one is Kin. Shakin, I believe, yeah. Oh, literally doesn't matter, because that's how they're asking for right now. Debt. Oh, right, that's like the more appropriate way to phrase that. This is the one that is confused for the third one, but it's actually Shi for samurai, which apparently by itself, literally the kunyomi is samurai, according to this anyway, but I don't think that's part of the vocabulary. Just having that kanji by itself as a vocab word, or you would just pronounce it samurai. But anyway, this is Kai Ose, which is the planet Neptune, which literally means Ocean King star. Anyway, this is something else that I probably saw and I already forgot. Contraption? Kai? Guy? It was Kai. I'm gonna count this, yes. This is then something. Maybe if I remember the thing. I think the character on the right is continue. But I don't think this is continuation, is it? It is kind of. It's serial, it's like part of a series. I did forget that detail, so I'll mark it. Anyways, this is Fortune's wallet. This is crap. Come on, I gotta get through this. This is Using Metamine Magics for a second so I can read chat as well. Do not argue, but never use it. I'm gonna lose to you, so I shall do my reps from now on. Well, I hope you do that quite well. Like I've been, well, I learned how to read like kana ages ago, but then I never really followed up on that and didn't really start getting serious with this until a few months ago. And I can't remember what this means, or legitimately, even though I did this while you have surplus, which is your. I remember that this is book counter, which for whatever reason is much easier for me to remember. This is. You got the stone and you got the other two stuff on the right. I don't remember, it's certain. Kaku, this is Kagami, I'm pretty sure, which I tried to write. What happened there? I'm not sure what happened there. There's like to be disorderly or riot or something. It's I don't think it's crap, I don't remember the pronunciation. Midaru, like the weird mnemonic they give you down here is meat that you can carry, but it's whatever. This is destruction, I think, or damage. I think this one's guy. Yeah, this one's guy. This one is ball. Obstruction. This one is separate volume. That's or no, that's was carried on into the other character pronunciation. So it's Besatsu, I believe. Yeah, Besatsu. Okay, this is the one we just saw. It's your for surplus. This one is like dislike. I can't remember the reading though. Naomi is Ken. Okay. I don't have any new cards pending, so it should be. Is this Isamu or Yumu Isamu? Isamu to be encouraged, I remembered. Okay, this one is. Was this one that was Kaku? Yeah, for certain. This one is going to show. This one is right, I think. Yeah, which is also Shaw, but it can also be. I'm pretty sure with the Kunyomi. Yeah, okay. This is the last one we saw, which was dislike, which I would have forgot what it's like. It's Ken, okay. This is difficult, which is apparently what it is to concentrate here. Nan, okay. Ken, Nan, Shin. This one I do remember. This one is take with. Sureru. Okay, this one is incur. He. Some fitting stuff coming up on the playlist. B, U, she, hatashte, we are like, hatashte, excuse me, I messed up again. As expected, as thought, guy, was it? Yeah, consumption guy. See if I can remember that from now on. Can. No, that's not it, is it? It's cut through this one. No. This one's Nan. And then. There, I did it. And I even have. Only about 10 minutes that I spent doing that, but anyway. Wasn't that fun? There's definitely one other thing that I kind of wanted to do before I. What should I call it? Before midnight, but that one can actually wait because that one's not something that's gonna have any new cards. It's something that has all the pending cards in the learning pile, so that can wait. That's basically what that means, but anyway. Something that I probably shouldn't keep waiting any longer though is Deadly Premonition. See if I can go ahead and do the thing. If I don't rightly remember how much time that would take from the moment that I'm at, but I don't think that this will be like the last stream that I do of it regardless. I think I want to do at least one more because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some other stuff. Now that I can do the post game for side quests and stuff, that's gonna take a bit. I'm probably gonna want to do at least one more. So if worst comes to worst, I can just like save the very last part of the finale here for whenever I do that one, but I will try to get through as much of this as I can right now anyway, but Of course, it's only at this point I realize it's gonna take a little bit longer for the good old totally real PS3 to finish warming up, so we can get the least horrifically unstable version of this game to work with. Should only take a second though. I wonder how it would go if I were able to play Psychonauts on here. I don't know, I feel like something I should probably try to play on here a bit more often. It's games I haven't actually played before on my own. I feel like I do that a lot, but then I can't really say that much about certain parts of the game, at least. Just because I've already seen them. I don't know, because I've considered like just doing streams whenever I have free time, just of whatever I'm playing by myself at that time. Just to kind of get more out of that time. But wait, what? Okay, wait a minute. The PS3 is being funny again. Let me see. It's not wanting to admit that my controller is in fact plugged in. I guess it's wanted me to do this. Okay, there we go. Also, I did see this song coming up on the playlist, but you know, funnily enough, talking about games that I've been playing on my own time recently, I was playing the remake of System Shock, and yeah, pretty good game. Pretty good remake too. Pretty high up there as far as stuff that I would consider an example to be followed when it comes to video game remakes. It's pretty much this, and Resident Evil remake from 2002, pretty much. That's probably the two gold standard games I would consider in that field. Even if it's kind of weird what they ended up doing with the music, they ended up doing a completely different vibe with that, and the ending was also pretty weird. It's quite different from what the original did, but as far as the just kind of overall vibe of the game all throughout, it was pretty close to the original. I would say it's an acceptable way to kind of approach that as, you know, if you think to yourself in 2024, 2023, I want to play System Shock 1, but it feels kind of weird playing the old version. Well, you should play the old version regardless, it really isn't that difficult, but if you can only play the remake, I would say that's acceptable. That's an acceptable near approximation experience, but anyway, time to do some deadly premoniting, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I did in fact. Yeah, maybe it might be a good idea to change the Emily outfit actually, because I'm pretty sure the last time that we did this, we ended up having, no, we don't want to save, we don't change anything. We ended up realizing that Emily was left in the Catgirl outfit. I guess it doesn't really matter which one of these we use, if we were to use either of these two, but yeah, why not? We'll change Emily back to like the regular skin and go back in just to make sure that that's safe, because it doesn't really give you confirmation when you get out of the screen that it's actually done that. And if you caught a certain part of the last episode, you might recall that was like the first game over that may or may not have happened during that whole investigation, so that part was erased from the timeline.
Get to the bottom of all this. And that one. And that one too. All red seeds.
Welcome, York. The killings 50 years ago. There is something about it that you won't find written in those files. The people were attacking and killing each other, rampaging as though insane.
Quite a story.
York, I told you, it's nothing more than local folklore.
What does that all mean?
It's called The Legend of the New Raincoat Killer.
York, we found Thomas.
Zach. Okay. So it's not bonus footage. It's still part of the main feature. Perpetrator is exactly who I thought it was.
And we hear York saying that, but after that little debacle, he does find himself in a rather interesting situation.
Or it'll be too late.
Rather interesting situation, which is also directly related to what ended up being what happened to Thomas, the reason he was missing. But yeah, we technically did see this scene before. I think we're being blocked off from turning back, but that's okay. There's not really any reason to turn back. And yeah, as you might have seen, there's like this weird tree back here where it looks like a tree sitting on top of a tree, or at least a tree stump. And it's not clear if the part that's on top is part of the same tree that was carved in such a way that it looks like a different tree decided to just pose itself on top of the stump of a different tree, which probably means something, I don't know. And hey, there's another one just like it. And I could definitely make a very snide comment directed at a certain game creator who does similar stuff to the person who created this game, but differently.
Dad? Dad?
Come on, boy, or it'll be too late.
But I won't. I will, however, say that I am quite glad that the thing that I just mentioned was, well, the thing that I keep drawing attention to with the tree and the trees on top of trees, and how that could be interpreted as something potentially significant is at least something that remains as a detail that you can notice, something that is presented as something potential, not as something that you are expected to notice or
Come on, boy, or it'll be too late.
to assign a definitive interpretation to if you want any hope of understanding what's going on with the plot, which is what certain somebody else would have done, but I will try to follow my own example there by not pushing the issue further, which hopefully I won't have to, considering that it doesn't look like there's much room left to traverse here in the forest path that we've been treading as this young child, completely barefoot. Can't imagine that would have been a very comfortable experience.
Come on, boy, or it'll be too late.
And thankfully it won't be too late to pick up the Brian Sander Morgan trading card. Might be time soon to like actually check out the trading card descriptions, which I've been holding off for well, pretty much the main reason that some of the trading cards are written with their like bonus description stuff in such a way that it just spoils some very unfortunate shit if you read it at like the first possible opportunity that you do have to do that. Not if I end up checking them out at some point here. I'll get into it, I guess. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we've seen this scene, but I don't remember exactly what may or may not happen. Pretty sure I do remember the scene after this, but we'll go in order. I don't remember if there was supposed to be music during, you know, this forest path scene either.
Are you okay?
I suppose this at least confirms that the music is in fact present. Well, speaking of potential options on how you handle the symbolism in some of these scenes, I feel like some parts of that last scene made more sense than others. Just something to think about. You don't have to, but you can. But the important part is that you don't have to.
You are waiting here for someone, aren't you?
The person you are waiting for will be here soon.
Hey!
Oh, Emily. Sorry, my dear, I must have fallen asleep.
That's enough napping for today. Tell me the rest of the story.
Yes, of course. That was our promise, wasn't it? Before I continue on, though, I've got a little gift I want to give you.
Wow. It's pretty.
Consider it a protective charm, like a signpost. It will help to lead you through your life.
A signpost?
One day, my dear, you will find out one of the truths of this world. That the world is filled with contradiction and inequality. When that day comes, how you respond, what you do, that will be the instant that determines the value of your life. This pendant will show you the way in that moment.
The value of my life?
Yes, dear, the value of your life. I have faith that you will grow up into a woman who can make the right choices. Do you understand, Emily?
I don't know if I understand. But back
We
in
come toward the climax.
the present,
As the angel said, I was soon fated to meet him. What do you think of those dreams, Zach? So I do care for Emily.
What about you? We should take this opportunity and talk about this a bit.
well, I think we're gonna be meeting a few people soon.
Come into the bar, well, you wouldn't have found this.
Not too sure who the specific person he was waiting for is supposed to be honest.
Luck was needed. That's why I've been able to stay in business too. Although we have Willie to thank for finding this room, I suppose. He's got a great nose. Clever too. He'd be a great businessman if he wanted to be. I owed you guys one anyway, and I owed York big time too. You guys didn't tell anyone about that whole thing with Diane. I want to help you guys out. Is there anything I can do?
Kaysen, I appreciate the offer. But this is a police matter. You can leave everything to us from here.
Oh, well, okay.
George, look. These cigarettes. They're the same brand that York smokes. He's definitely been here.
Carol's been missing since the bar closed last night. This town will be deserted if this keeps up.
What do you think is really happening here in Greenvale?
Emily, let's focus on looking for York. I just hope there are more leads than a cigarette butt around here.
Hey, Willie, of course. You can track his scent, can't you, boy? What do you think, officers? Let him help you out, why don't you? Oh, he'd make a fine police dog.
I told you we don't need...
Sounds good, Kaysen. We need all the help we can get. Come on, George. Let's let them help us.
But they are civilians.
Do you have a better plan? As we speak, York might be...
All right. Let's have them help.
Thank you, George.
But one thing, with York missing in action, I'm back in charge. And York would give me hell if something bad happened to you guys. So promise me you'll call for backup at the first sign of danger.
Yes, of course.
I think we're missing something here. so I'm going to look around a bit longer. You go with Kaysen and follow York's trail.
Thank you, George. We're counting on you, boy. Welcome to the Force, Deputy Willie.
And if I do recall, that might lead into this next scene in a way that's a bit jarring with the volume difference in particular.
Let's get rolling then.
Okay, I'm counting on you, Willie.
Okay, we have great reverb all of a sudden.
Oh, not counting on me, though, are you? Sheesh.
Well, I mean, how much are you gonna do during this whole thing? But here we are. Once again, with this theme that we only heard so far while driving Emily's car, fittingly enough. Yeah, I don't know, if I was a dog, I feel like I would definitely not be thrilled if someone put a cigarette in front of my nose. I can hardly imagine being any kind of creature and being thrilled if someone put a cigarette in front of my nose, to be honest. And you know, as someone who knows very little about Sonic, I can't help but look back at Kaysen and recall that one part of whichever one of the classic Sonic games it was that... Oh, whoops. Kinda...
Hey, where are you going? Deputy Willie, he's over here!
Kinda went too far from where Willie was going. I looked away for a moment to see Kaysen's fat ass running behind us. Just like Dr. Robotnik does in that one game, that I can't remember what it is. That was the parallel I was trying to draw there, but... It's kind of remarkable how, you know, we don't have any stamina to worry about for this sequence in particular. I suppose that goes for Kaysen too, because he just keeps running behind us at remarkable speed, even if we can definitely outrun him. So in order of potential for speed, we got Deputy Willie, Emily, Kaysen, Dr. Robotnik, and then Sonic. That is my understanding of the situation. I guess we just stop here. Didn't realize that we actually had to do that a few times. By the way, Linvisible Street, Ripper Street, I haven't even been paying attention to most of these street names that you get here. I guess that's kind of a Silent Hill, more of a Silent Hill trope. Or if you look at the street names in any given Silent Hill name, you'll notice that there's just a bunch of famous horror writers and or philosophers' names on them. It makes me wonder who was actually responsible for making that design decision.
He can be a little selfish, but he's a good dog. He stayed with me all this time, through all the good and the bad.
How long have you been together?
Oh, we go back a long time. I can't even remember a time when he wasn't around.
I had a dog when I was small, too. He was a beagle, so we named him B. Stupid name, I know. He hated being left alone and always followed me around. I could tell him anything, even things I couldn't tell my parents. He'd look into my eyes and listen intently to anything I had to say. It's like he sympathized, and he didn't make fun of me. He would just listen. When I was done talking, he'd put a paw on my thigh. My worries just faded away when he did that. Made me feel like I was just a fool for worrying so much. Dogs are great that way.
Oh yeah, sometimes I think they got a lot more wisdom than us humans. Even if they are betrayed, well, they don't see it that way. Sure sounds foolish, but you know dogs, why they're always happy. I'm positive that even if man perishes off the face of the earth, dogs, why, they'll just carry on, regardless. They see everything, you know. From their dog houses, they look out and they see what humans do.
Kaysen.
Oh look, Deputy Willie's calling for us. He's always like that. Let's get back to the chase.
Let's get back to the chase, and at least Deputy Billy is gonna be very patiently waiting for us to indulge in. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely something to think about. That do be the thing about dogs, I would say. It's very, very easy to just let a dog know anything that you probably couldn't let a person know. I think we might be getting another cutaway here, kind of a teaser for what may be about to happen to York, happening to York soon.
Thomas, I know that you're there. Your
And
disposition is not of my concern. But you do need to stop this. Untie me. Let me go. Right now. And you and Carol should take off. Go as far away as you can. Open a bar or a diner in a new town. With your cooking, I know you do well.
Why, thank you, York. You're so kind. Unlike him.
If I had someone like you, things may not have come to this.
York, have you ever been in love with someone?
Thomas, a long time ago, I witnessed two people that I really cared about die. Both pretty much at the same time. And since then, I've tried not to care about anyone so deeply, but recently that way of thinking has changed.
Emily, right? She's a nice girl.
But I must warn you, York. You'd be better off not falling in love with her.
Thomas, considering the circumstances, whatever I say might not be important to you, but I'll say it anyways. Don't you dare touch Emily.
York, I think I've said too much.
It's natural to respond when someone talks to you, I guess. Everything will end tonight. You just stay there until then.
That little animation. He like rests one of the shoulders on top of the other and does a little finger wag with the hand that's on top. That's a thing that Emily does. I don't know if that was supposed to be like a specific way of mocking her. I don't remember if anybody else does that animation. I mean, there is interesting little details that you can catch here and there to just kind of clue you in on certain things, or maybe throw you off by pretending that they're cluing you in on certain things, like that little gesture that you see. What's his face? Michael? Yeah, Michael do at the end of that certain plot conversation that we had during the previous episode with Harry. Well, here's a phone, but I don't think we're gonna be saving right now. Surely we can just wait until the end of the chapter. Okay, I guess that was pretty much meant to be a potential prompt for you to save, but now we're just gonna ignore the red vines that showed up. Let's kind of ignore these arrows that we can see from way over here that indicate like an otherworld replay, I'm pretty sure.
What's wrong? Something's bothering you.
Oh no, it's just... I promised to have tea with Polly. I just remembered.
What's that got to do with anything?
Yep, you're right. This just isn't the time, I know. But it's... well, she reminds me of my mother who passed away.
Kaysen.
I've been a salesman for a long, long time. I never had time to talk with my mother, you know. Sales, they were the thing for me. No matter what happened, this was more important. So even when she was sick, I put more energy into my work, which I regret now. And you know, when I heard she died, I was on my way home, all happy. I closed a big deal in Jersey. Just when you want to give something back, you got no one to give it back to. Well, that's when I met her, Polly. I thought heaven had given me another chance. I really did. So I always stay in that hotel whenever I come up here. Oh, sure, the rooms are great, but But in all honesty, I go there because I want to talk with Polly.
Does Polly know all this?
No way. I'd never say anything so embarrassing to her. She'd think I've got some crazy mother complex or something. Right, let's get going. Deputy Willie disapproves of any chit-chat. I'll make it up to Polly some other time, I guess.
I don't know, I would imagine chit-chat is authorized as long as it's not holding up the chase investigation. I don't know if Polly ever says anything that might suggest her relation to that little tidbit Kaysen just told us about, though. I think she mostly just talks about stuff that happened in the town in the past.
Zach, I'm hungry, but I can't do much about that at the moment. Thomas is certainly a great cook. It's a shame to keep his cooking hidden out here in the countryside. Don't you think so, Zach?
Ugh.
Which reminds me, there's another great cook in town. To fall in love with her would mean that I would need to love her cooking, too. Why does God test us so, I wonder? That coffee she made. Man, did that pack a punch. I wish you could have tasted it, Zach.
Well, I would like to think that, in a way, that relates back to the little conversation we had earlier about, hey, if you have a dog and if you go hang out with a dog, you can probably share stuff with the dog that you can share with anyone else. I feel like, even though he doesn't really go to great lengths to keep it hidden, these sentiments that York has about Emily's cooking are something that would probably fall under that kind of umbrella of things. But I suppose if there's something that York definitely has not been hesitating to talk about in detail, it would be how's great and or
It's only a hunch now, but I don't think
not
Nick
so
killed
some
her.
characters are at cooking.
What do you mean?
Me and Diane, we were, you know, pretty close. Sure, some people might have moral issues about it all, but I'd like to think that I knew her pretty well. Every time we finished talking, she'd bring up art. I'd make a face, you know, boring. And she'd always say, "You're so different from Nick. He's so much more intelligent."
Sounds like something she'd say.
Nick was one of the few people who she could talk to, you know. And vice versa for Nick, I suppose. Diane also told me that she was best friends with Nick. He'd have nothing at all to gain by killing her. I can't believe that one would try to kill the other. I just can't.
But even the best of friends can end up in the worst fights.
Still, the voices and footsteps I heard that night, they were something else. Much more violent, more horrifying. Diane's voice sounded different, too. Different. Hard to explain. Of course, I couldn't make out what she was saying.
You told York all this?
Of course I did.
What did he say?
I know, that's fine. Something like that. Let's go then, and catch Diane's killer.
Yeah, I thought we already had some exchange to do with this. Maybe a little bit more biased, because I don't remember if we went into the whole, yeah, Nick and Diane just hang out to talk about art spiel before. That's like something that we had to listen to as part of the plot, or if it was more tied to a cutscene. I think it might have been technically part of the plot if it was stuff that we heard from Olivia. Like, yeah, my husband goes to hang out at the art gallery because They're like the only two people in town who can have a deep conversation about art or something. Don't know if we had anything more detailed, or heard anything more detailed about that any other moment.
About Emily. Don't you feel almost nostalgic looking at her? I don't think I've ever felt that way looking at a woman before. No, I'm wrong. It's a long time ago now, though. Do you remember that incident, Zach? Anyways, I was very surprised when she came to my hotel room. Not in a funny way, don't get me wrong. It was really exciting, though. I thought I heard my heart thumping inside, you know? It's inappropriate during an investigation. Right, Zach?
Well, I guess if nothing was actually happening during the investigation at that precise moment, we could raise a point of debate, but well, I don't know what's weirder. The fact that, you know, that whole she shows up at the hotel room scene was kind of initiated with a very clear kind of implication, and then it just immediately cuts off to, nope, they're just hanging out and chatting all night. Let's talk about our childhood issues on this couch in this very spacious room. And who knew that would have led to everything appearing so perfectly ordinary the following morning when they had to meet up. Wait, what?
Hey, where are you going? Deputy Willie, he's over here. Come on, hurry.
No, he's not. The reason we ended up triggering that this time is because we were too close to Deputy Willie and not Kaysen. That is weird. But I suppose that is the actual metric that they use to figure out when that happens. I don't know if this means that these... that I should reorder the hypothetical power level for speed that I mentioned a while ago. Kaysen has the power to just put an end to anyone who might be going too far ahead of him. I suppose I would put Robotnik under Kaysen, though. I thought I already did that.
No, I mean, well, I always say hi when I see them at their store.
Don't you think they make a wonderful family?
I guess so. Including Jim, I suppose they do.
Indeed they do. The ideal family, I'd say. You know that I look after Isaac and Isaiah pretty often, right? They talk a lot when I take them out. Yesterday, Mama and Papa, and this morning, Grandpa, always about their family. Just listening to them makes me feel so happy. I don't have any brothers, you know. Maybe I'm a little jealous of those two. That's why when I come here, I always pay them a visit. Greenvale is really like a second home to me.
I can tell.
Deputy Willie's calling again. Enough about me. Let's get going.
Deputy Willie, but also...
For some reason in the darkness, I see Emily's face.
Another...
When I first met her on the bridge, she looked so...
appearance... Oh, she's on this side this time.
And that glimmer in her eyes when she argues every word I say. Her blonde hair lit by the dawn.
And now over here.
Eating steak at the diner. Giving me directions in the car.
And all in the same pose while doing both of those things.
Gallery. And that coffee she made. And...
oh, and now she's here.
It's like she's a goddess in a tight dress. Zach, let's pray that she doesn't become a real goddess.
I mean, the dress wasn't that tight, surely, but I think he only saw her in the dress like twice, ever. Once at the bar and then again when she showed up at the hotel. And every other time she's been wearing either these, I guess, regular police uniform clothes or any of the given costumes that can replace them, which are not really distinct for plot purposes. But yeah, I suppose basically everything that York's expressing during those looks into his thoughts are also things that fall into that category of stuff that you would probably tell to your dog, but not to anyone else that I mentioned earlier. Might even just kind of try to telepathically communicate these things to your dog for fear of someone who was a human actually hearing them in case you said them out loud. Who knows, it might work.
Willie, York is nearby?
Good job, Willie. Can we stop running now, please?
York is nearby, and well, there's only one thing in this part of town. As you might have noticed if you were sufficiently well oriented with the map and what have you, and just the fact that there's nothing else around. There's nothing else at the end of the path that leads here. Which doesn't really connect to anywhere else.
Hey, so we took the long route here. You weren't playing with us, were you?
George, we found out where York is. George? George! Kaysen, I'm going in alone.
Hey, you didn't forget what George said.
No, I haven't. And that's why you get to stay out here and keep trying to contact him. I'm just going to check things out. I'll stay out of danger. Trust me.
Okay, if you say so. I'll take care of this here.
I'm just gonna be standing out here in the rain and trying to fiddle with the radio, potentially. So not only do you run around town as Emily, you also step into the other world as Emily. At least for this occasion.
Freeze! Stop right there! Stop!
And you get the pretty interesting implication that Emily has literally never seen this, even though York has done this a million times by now.
What the hell?
Well, see, Emily, your mistake right there is that... Oh, wait a minute, we're looking at York's viewpoint again. Soon to be...
York? Emily is here.
Joining up, we
Time
hope.
to say goodbye then.
Thomas, let me tell you one more time. It's not too late. I can help you. Just untie me and let me go. If you don't, the situation will be irreversible, unfixable.
York, no situation is reversible. Didn't you know that? Everyone, everything proceeds along a path preordained by fate. Goodbye then. I wonder who'll be the next person to open this door. Well, whoever that person is will be the one to decide your fate.
But what if that person's fate was
What
already
am I supposed to say?
decided before that?
All I can do now is wait.
Seems like a bit of an immediate contradiction, but yeah, Emily, you did it wrong the way you were supposed to do that is, yeah. Shoot the very clearly present exploding barrels that are right next to the enemy, and hope that they're able to reach far enough to actually bomb off the enemy, which in that instance they thankfully did, even though it didn't really look like it was guaranteed, but it's a bit of a contrast you might notice. I mean, kind of, oh shit. kind of thrown back to the whole super basic weapon loadout for this one part, even though we've had access to those ridiculously OP infinite ammo weapons. Not infinitely ammo weapons. It's kind of hard to hear myself think when the shadows are having those very loud voices on top of each other. But yeah, we don't have any weapons assembly other than and her version of the crappy infinite ammo pistol. Oh, we're gonna have to make do with that. Thankfully, this is all we need. I don't even know if Emily can get her hands on any other weapons while this whole sequence is in effect. I want to say probably not. She might be able to like, oh shit, to like pick up. Oh dear. Pick up another melee weapon or something, but other than that, I really don't know. I don't know if that little box of 10mm ammo is going to help me at all. Oh dear. Oh, there was a shotgun left on the ground there. Oh dear. I'm gonna shoot that and then hope that it doesn't blow myself up as well, but kinda did a little bit. I guess that's something else that we don't have with us anymore. We don't have the weather doll, which would make any kind of combat scenes extremely trivial, but we do have 3 small first aid kits and 1 medium one and a flare, which I don't think we really need. I don't think we can even drive while we're doing this. While we're playing as Emily, you know, spoilers, it's a very, very short sequence. Especially in relation to every other part of the game. I want to see if okay, she can also smash her way through the door. I just wanted to confirm that. And hey, why wouldn't you? Okay, so we can heal with this, we can save here, we can take first aid medium. Is there only one? Or is this like... No, it's apparently an infinite wellspring of medium first aid kits. I might as well grab a few of these, heal that little bit of damage that we incurred. Okay, incurred. That was one of the words that I studied today in the Yankee thing, but oops. I don't know. I don't think it's out of line to say that that is an extremely situational word. How often are you gonna say incur, really? But oh goodness. Now that we've done that, I guess the little safety save made our way up into this very tall, very large clock room, which is where shortly the final boss fight from Castlevania Judgment is gonna take place. You know, speaking of extremely situational things, that's a reference that almost nobody's gonna understand. It's not even the final boss fight, it's the mandated story fight before the true final boss fight, but anyway. Sure do hope we get to see. Sure do hope the fact that this is kind of taking its time showing the next thing is not a bad sign. That would be very, very unfortunate to occur at this point. We'll give it a moment. Just like we've already given it a moment, but we'll give it another moment. Alright, we've officially given it a moment or two. I guess I'm gonna try buttons. Oh, I pressed start and we're thrown into this. Oh, this is unfortunate. Right. Right, one moment. guess all is not lost, but we're gonna return to the title screen and hope that this isn't a bad sign. All that data. I also hope that the fact that the the background behind the title on the title screen was completely black, whereas there's usually something that is also not a bad sign. Oh boy. Maybe. Okay, well, something's happening. Okay, we're here. We're gonna try again. I think you can pretty much tell what's happening, but it might be time to pirate the thing that we're supposed to be able to see in this next sequence if the game decides that it's not going to cooperate in that regard. Yeah. Oh. I am going to let the game sit while I try to figure out what to do here. Let me figure out how I know what I'm doing here. I'm going to try to figure out the best way to show what you're supposed to be looking at here, but which apparently in a very specific for some very particular reason the game does not want to show. Oh dear. Let me see if this source that I might have just found a very, very interesting looking thumbnail is the thing that I might want to be looking at right now. Might very well be. So yeah, judging from how things are looking right now, I don't think the game is going to be very cooperative with showing this particular cutscene, so I guess we'll try to do it another way. Let me see, I can't be having, yeah, the GPU throttle active right now, I don't think. Otherwise none of this would be working at all, so I hope this goes by alright. Alright, here we go. So after we stepped in, this is coming directly from the game. It's probably gonna be better mixed audio, but don't worry about that. Now wait a minute. Guess we're gonna turn this off for a moment. Oh, wait a minute. I need to make sure that this is also not completely mute, which I had set it to be for a moment at least. Alright. Anyway.
You sure took your time.
Thomas, you've got nowhere to run now. Just surrender yourself.
Emily, I've been waiting for you.
Where's York? Is he okay?
He's quite the handsome one, isn't he? I liked him the moment I saw him. He likes someone else, of course. Who do you think that is? Hmm?
I'm asking you if he is okay. Answer me.
Oh, yes. He is handsome. But me and Carol, we love not him, but a different person. My lovely G.
Cut the crap. Do you know what you're doing?
Why, yes, I do. All too well. Far better than you do, I think. You know nothing about yourself, nor this town.
Please don't make me shoot you.
You're a silly, sad little woman. We're heading for devastation. All of us. And no one can stop it.
Oh, Thomas. You're sick. But there's still time. We can get you help. I'll help you.
You're too kind, Emily. As kind as a goddess. That's why he likes you. This town is soiled, and only you are shining in it.
That's right, Thomas. Let's just leave here together.
It was so much better back then. We had so much fun. Emily, that was before you came. I won't let you have him. You filthy pig!
Well, Thomas was certainly right about being headed for devastation as far as devastating contrast with the lighting effects, but... Alright, back in the present, now that we've been able to see that, let's find out what happens next. Oh dear. With this, yeah, still being our only means of trying to attack. How cruel of you trying to riddle with bullets the guy who...
Won't have it your way. I won't let you take it. I'll show you how serious I am. I'll turn you into hamburger meat.
Who's making repeated threats, as a matter of fact, to kill you.
Take this.
What am I taking?
Eat this.
Oh. Okay, and we're having to just...
This.
Well, I'm trying to.
Eat this.
Most efficient way of... Oh dear.
Take this. Dodge this.
Okay, there. So now we should. Oh goodness. Alright, well, I am trying to dodge this and this. And whatever else you may be, oh dear, referring to. Oh shit. And not realizing that there is in fact more than one button you can press for the quick time events. That's where the tricky part comes in. But then, oh boy. After a surprisingly short window of time, we get thrown back into the void where it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to do much once again. Hold on. Please stand by for a moment. Apparently this, apparently everything's gonna go swimmingly in relative terms, at least, other than these two cutscenes that happened before and after this fight. So let's try to address that a different way, as we just did with the previous one.
Thomas, don't make me shoot again. Surrender and turn yourself in.
Emily. Emily,
Thomas.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's enough, Thomas. Just come over here.
Emily. Emily, I just... I hate you so much. Die, you skanky swine! You stinky mutt! Get away! Get away from me! Get off!
oddly contrived angle to make something like that possible, but yeah, if any, I feel like any sympathy that Thomas might have inspired. Oh shit. That's also a very contrived angle to make that possible. It's like the ending of Hot Fuzz, but even worse. Any sympathy that Thomas might have inspired kind of completely evaporated
Is that Thomas hanging there?
by his supposition of Willie.
He looks like a strung-up turkey.
Oh, anyway, back to the present. Let's pretend we didn't get a quick glimpse behind the scenes there, but yeah. Willie to the rescue. Oops, that didn't work. No, it did work, don't worry. It's just that some of these emotes for some reason don't like to render correctly in the Pontificator chat, but I can see it in the Twitch chat in both of these instances. Anyway, I hope I didn't actually try this out, but I hope that just like before, we can just snap out of this and go back to the present time.
Is that a gunshot?
Oh, I guess we can.
I hope nothing terrible has happened.
Well, that depends on how you define terrible. Some things have happened, alright. Oh, I guess Willie just opened that door by himself.
Hey, Willie. Are you here with your owner?
Oh yeah, but I think this is displaying a little bit not ideally. There we go. Didn't notice this until now. Okay, was that animation kind of implying that Willie, like, put his paws on the door and then used his mouth to turn the handle? I think that might be a little too on the nose. Oh, we got a first aid kit. Do we not have the stuff that we're supposed to have right now? Yeah, no, I guess we don't have anything on us right now. I'm not too sure what we would want to, but at this exact moment, I guess if we really had trouble with that last fight, which we didn't really, but nice to see that we have that little invisible flashlight on our lapel. It's nice that Thomas let us keep that.
Hey!
I guess he already took Thomas down, or he would probably be visible from here.
York, are you okay?
I'm fine. Got to spend some quality time with Zach. I heard gunshots. Did you get our man?
York, Thomas is dead. I shot him. He tried to kill me.
Or maybe the angle was just wrong, never mind.
I suppose that this is the fate you talked about. But Emily, what about the murderer?
I just told you I had to shoot Thomas.
Thomas's actions may have surprised you, I understand that. But our job is to catch the killer, isn't it? You didn't let the killer get away.
York, are you saying that Thomas was not responsible for the murders?
What? That makes no sense.
Emily, are you out of your mind? Thomas was certainly neck deep in this. But he didn't kill the girls. He has concrete alibis for all 3 murders. He also doesn't have the reverse peace symbol on his back. These are basic facts that for sure you haven't forgotten.
Then who?
Well, for surely.
I need you to be strong, Emily. If Thomas is not the killer, then there is only one other possibility. The only one with free access to the department files, and doesn't have an alibi at the time of the killings. Love G himself.
George? George is the killer? And since when did you start thinking this?
I wasn't sure to start with, but you saw the pictures, right? In that secret room in Carol's bar. That was when I became 100% positive.
But George didn't have the tattoo on his back.
Ah, right. He doesn't have a tattoo on his back, but there is a pattern there.
What do you mean?
Emily, I'm not saying that the pattern was the tattoo. Remember what Harry said. There isn't a single thing that can maintain its shape for eternity. And George's back is a perfect example.
Hey, you two. Could you explain this so I can understand what's going on?
Emily, come in.
Emily here. I've rescued Agent York from the clock tower.
Thomas is dead. I was forced to shoot him.
I see. And you two are both all right?
York is a little weak, but we're heading back to the department now.
Okay, I'll do the same.
Emily, George is a friend of yours, isn't he?
Yes.
Then what we are about to do is going to be tough to deal with. Are you willing to go through with this?
York, I'm deputy sheriff. This might be a small town, but I take pride in that. It's my duty to make sure that we catch all the bad guys in Greenvale. Even if it means facing an end that I would never have hoped for.
Okay, then let's get moving. This case is going to end at the sheriff's department.
This is madness. Willie, come on. Let's go with him. Chickening out now would be like leaving after eating the appetizers.
Well, it's a bit of an interesting title overall given for that chapter, but there we go. And we even got paid. Even though we don't really have much use for all this money at this point. But I'm pretty sure that for a while now we've kind of been locked in into this kind of endgame cycle where we have to do the plot, and we can't really get away from that until we actually get to the end of the story.
Emily, I'm going in from the front. You secure the back.
Okay.
What should I do?
Kaysen, stay at the entrance.
No, don't cut me out now. If this was a movie, I'd be some minor nameless character, and I thought I was the cheerful sidekick that helps solve the case.
I don't remember the ending of Hot Fuzz, but I'm sure it was something violent. Well, it was something that may have been comparable to scale with what ended up happening to Thomas. What was that? How I could put it to it? Oh goodness. How very gothic to have this familiar place turn into something that is all of a sudden most unnerving and unwelcoming. Not too sure what we're going to be profiling at this point, given that we already become very convinced that George is behind everything. We do have one more person to account for, I suppose. Suppose we can't imagine that will end well at this stage. I'm pretty sure it's not just the weird sound mixing in this version. I'm pretty sure that
I thought we might get a warm welcoming.
that inhale-exhale sound he does with the cigarettes is just like bizarrely loud in all versions of this game. Is he gonna carry up? Okay, I guess now the stuff that we were carrying. Oh, we deleted one item. The Throne of Abyss. Deleted one item because it didn't fit in our inventory or in the toolbox. Or so inside, though. I doubt if it would have a soul to speak of. And the phone is gone that we would usually be able to use there to save the game. Now let's take a look around and see how we'll handle this. I hope we can deal with this ourselves, right, Zach? Even though I don't know if Emily's gonna run into the regular version of this place or this spooky Red World version. See, it did seem like that last Red World stage was literally the only one where Emily has actually seen the Bizarro world. Oh dear, looks like Anna's here. Wonder if anyone else will make an appearance. We have all our weapons and shit back. Yeah, we do. Okay, might as well just get that ready. In case we need to. Buttery tasting crackers for a little snack. Recovers a little bit of hunger. We probably didn't even need that, do we? Especially if this turns out to be like one of them. No, I guess it wasn't. One of those infinite. I'd rather to take any more risk. Infinite, like, you know, food spawn points, but I suppose not this time. I would just now realize that the thing wasn't reloaded. We could rearrange our stuff, and I think it might be a good idea to get a suit with an actual bonus for the endgame. Starting to look like it's getting dirty, yeah. Good time to change anyway. So which shall we go for? Filled up suit, HP and attack power ×3. Isn't there like a suit that has like a ridiculous amount of bonuses like this? I mean, this one has double bonuses, so that's pretty good. Start with increase your life gauge, increase your pulse gauge, increase your sex appeal. I don't think this actually does anything. I guess we'll just go with filled ups. There we go, and the one. So we're gonna send it off for cleaning. It'll take that many hours for it to get cleaned. I guess we'll just stick with what we have as far as the weapons, so. Something that we're probably gonna want to change up is we do have the weather doll, which I'm pretty sure this is one of those things where the meaning is not very clear, but apparently it's based on a Japanese tradition where people would hang paper dolls outside the window of a farm, and if you like hang it right side up, it's like asking for clear weather. But if you hang it upside down, it's asking for rainy weather. So this is kind of that, but backwards. If it's not raining, then the right side up position will heal you, and if it is raining, then the upside down position will heal you. So what do we have here in the spooky version of George's desk? Key for hidden room. Well, how do we know what room it's for if the room is hidden? Reminds me a little bit of Brain Lord and being like, you opened the chest and you found the invisible key. Like, let's think about this for a moment. I guess our mysterious inference that there is in fact a hidden room was enough to show us quite a bit though, but yeah, it sounds like we're not really alone anymore. At least it looks like only the many nameless people that also exist in the town, along with all the named characters, are yet again gonna be the cannon fodder for our escapades. Didn't immediately remember getting freaking keys as a drop for the enemies in this though. Oh shit, did not realize there was a spawn thingy here. Wonder if that thing will despawn eventually, or if it's just gonna be spewing out dudes for so long as we are here. Key for cell 3. I guess we'll hang back and try to get rid of this thing for a little bit. Maybe that's the key to getting another one of these keys, because I guess we've got cell keys 1 and 3 so far. Two numbers which are not immediately adjacent to one another. Okay, maybe this is not a good idea, but maybe it is. I don't know. I think there were some vines here a little while ago. Like coffee. Oh yeah, I haven't even taken a look at the hunger and tiredness meter, but I guess that hasn't gone down at all. If we have any of these things in our inventory, then they are probably just extra. They are potentially useful, but not really that useful with the outstanding shape that we are in. Oh dear. Oh, okay. Guess you have to teleport out of that little standing room first. So no, I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna want to run around for a bit, gathering as many of these keys as I can before I head down to the jail in the basement. Well, go on, get out of there. Don't drop your key inside that thing in a way that will not make it easy for me to actually retrieve it. Oh goodness. Midnights are raiding with a party of 4. Welcome in everyone. How was your stream? Do let me know. We are hanging out with York and his updated outfit over here, which I can't recall if I've ever worn at any previous point during the game, but now seems like the right time, considering that development is nigh. Ooh. And we're running into these black blotches that spit out lots of enemies in these narrow corridors. And finding plenty of black coffee in the police station. I suppose that might seem quite appropriate in a way. Another key. I don't know if we have the cell number 2 key yet. If we did, then I must have blinked. If we did acquire it, that is. If we did happen to have it at one point. Hey, the black blotch that spits out enemies in this room actually went away. That's quite nice. But I also guess that means we're done with this side. At this stage, I'm guessing that the one that's in the middle of the hall here is not going away. That's just the locker room. Yes, I don't believe we've come in here yet. In this timeline, anyway. And hey, Teppa, Max, how's it going? Hope you're having a nice evening, a nice stream. And hope you continue to have a nice time, if that was the case. Oh, stabilizer. Literally have like way too many stabilizers. Even though I made a point of getting as many of those as possible for that one darts minigame, but that ended up being fairly simple to just min-max, and then now we just have a ton of them. We've not gone into storage, and I think this is the final... Probably the final room we can go into before we head down to the basement. Oh boy. Once again, we can only pick up the ones that are the... what do you call it? The medkits that are large, not the small or medium ones. You have too many of those. Now that we have a moment of peace, yeah, we can once again admire all of the red raincoats in this room, which I'm pretty sure have been here from the beginning. Way too obvious. Don't worry, sir. Culprit will find you soon enough. We can literally go into this room pretty much at the beginning of the game and be like, wow, that's a lot of raincoats, and just shrug it off. But now, knowing what we know, it does seem like that has a bit more of a sinister significance. So I suppose it's finally down here to the jail, and hope that we have enough keys to check out everything we might need to. What do we have here? And now it's time to probe the cells, but before I do that, let me do something that I actually kind of forgot to do just a moment ago, which is give you all a shout out. Oops. Slightly embarrassing that I kind of had that slip my mind. Get you one of these, tried to get you one of these, but then realized that apparently doing it this way brings up a thing that I can click on, and it just... Well, did it bring up a thing? Or maybe it just happened to be placed in a way that I thought that had popped up from the little chat window, but it hadn't anyway. But yeah, go check out the Midnights if you haven't already. They are quite a cool bunch who does quite a bit of variety in games. And it's generally a pretty chill hangout. Don't remember if I ever run into the tomato sauce before. That does strike me as something that may have been one of the items you need to get for the Emily side quests, but I do believe I spy yeah, at least one of these cells having a weird red stuff barrier behind it, but I guess that's just to keep you from getting onto the bed. You cannot sleep in the same room where one of these dudes may either spawn or just be present. I guess I guess I haven't been observing all of these layouts closely enough to try and figure out if, at least until this point, the game actively tries to stop you from being able to sleep in any of the same rooms where an enemy might be present. Well, something does look different about this cell, doesn't it? But that clearly means that we're gonna be leaving that for last, oh boy. Also be slightly inconvenienced whenever we find out that there's another one of those enemy spawning spots in the floor that I hadn't been observant enough to notice, or even notice the pattern that, yeah, these things just keep showing up. Oh shit. Okay. This is slightly inconvenient timing. Oh, what does this have? Okay, maybe we weren't actually able to open up that cell until now. We needed to gather all those other keys and then come down here and find the one cell that would lock us in so that we could then have the keys for this cell where we can actually see something inside. Once again. I was just, during the last episode, I was just thinking about, was that chase scene with the anagram ghost the only time that song plays outside of like little introductory area cutscenes and the title? And if we count that little appearance of it there, I suppose that's not necessarily the case. Thanks for doing more Evil West tonight, probably finishing next week. Nice. Oh shit. Okay. I guess we didn't realize that. Here, only the color of the wall is different. There must be something, but... What are we pushing? Pushing on the door itself. Okay, I guess the door is heavy enough that we can just smack our whole body on it if we try to rush through it as I usually do. I actually was not expecting that. Oh boy. All the music, it does seem very dire, and yet we don't actually have anything coming after us until we come up here and get this agent honor, I guess. Maybe interact with the red sparklies, even though I didn't actually do that, I just picked up the thing. Will there be anything left for me to interact with once this little appearance scene is concluded? Well, if there is, then I guess we're not getting it because now we're locked out of that platform. Oh well. Oh, that's gonna work. I do remember being like very oddly paranoid of the shadows with guns in the first appearance that they have in the hospital level, but when you make it this far into the game, they kind of start looking like less of a big threat and more of an inconvenience. 12 gauge shotgun shells. Yeah, we have 20 shotgun things and machine gun things and all that stuff that we can't even use because of our use for quite a while now of the infinite ammo versions of these weapons, but maybe we didn't expect to find Carol's earrings. Or maybe we did. I mean, who else could it be at this point? Unless we're just gonna bring in a completely random character who wasn't connected to what's been going on for the past few chapters. Which I suppose would not be completely out of character, completely unimaginable, but... No, that's not quite the case. So now instead of seeing Anna, as we I suppose usually do, or have been.
Carol!
So hey Emily, are you joining me here in the Red World, or am I merely imagining this? Which of these seems more plausible? Well, much like the other victims.
George did this to you.
Doesn't seem like her mouth is in a great state.
Thomas. He's dead. I shot him. I had to. Carol? Carol?
Kaysen! Kaysen, quick!
I think my question from the beginning of that scene still stands. Are we like all in the red world together, or like some of us seeing different things? Which of these is more likely? Well,
She needs a full stomach and liver cleansing.
York, you need to come too. She needs...
No, I have to take care of something here.
But I can't take her alone.
Please, Kaysen.
Okay, I'll do it. Fast. But if something happens, don't blame me, okay?
Just go!
well, you might say something already has happened.
I haven't been this emotional in a long, long time. Can you tell, Zach?
So I guess Emily was just trying to shrug that whole thing off, well, I guess, in a way. When the fight against Thomas took place, we had York, Emily, and Kaysen all in and Willie all in the same room at the same time, which, well, and Thomas as well. Which was, I suppose, assumed to be a red world area. It does seem pretty ominous, just the fact that I suppose those barriers are breaking down in a way that is kind of unprecedented, and yet we're just trying to roll with it regardless. Hey, Post Trophy episode 4 cleared, there you go. But we're not leaving, we have to, well, I guess we get into a different episode now. We get a break from just going right back into the police station, Red World perhaps, oh boy. Well, hold on a moment, let's see what's going on here. The constellation just appeared, but then just went dead for a moment, and another moment, and many other moments to come. Not too sure what that means. There's gonna be another thing where I have to skip it. No, well, that was Sac View, it probably doesn't matter a whole lot. Just a recap. It kind of sucks that we can't watch a recap, but maybe we can. If I like try to load back into it and have that come up immediately. Even if there's clearly something a bit pressing we have to deal with right now. Well, literally can't move right now, we're just gonna watch Mr. Killer just go in for a few seconds. Oh, and we can't, well, can we? I mean, we're outside, okay. We're outside, but we're not able to actually leave this place. So, hold a moment, York, we're gonna go back to the title real quick, because we did just save at the end of that chapter. I feel like I'm tempting fate whenever I do this. But just load back in immediately, resume. Let's see if it brings me to previously during the investigation thing. Let's see if that actually pops up this time. And if not, it's gonna be whatever. It's not like kind of expected to contextualize anything, but no, apparently they're just gonna summon a different constellation each time, but that's it. Oh well. That's okay. I guess we get to watch this again. At least the part that we can't skip, which is watching him go in. Is that episode 5? Because there's supposed to be like 6 or 7 episodes, but there's only like a couple chapters left, so I guess we might be at the point where it's all moving so fast that it's one episode, one chapter, even though I don't think the length of each individual chapter is necessarily that much longer. So make of that what you will. Well, we just took a look around this place, but now we're back at it again. With the very loud breathing.
So, Zach, I'm thinking of asking Emily out for dinner once this is all over.
Nothing too fancy. Just somewhere where we can relax. You know what? Nick's Diner might be a good idea. I think I owe him a nice big tip, too.
It kind of seemed like the music was gonna trail off into the spooky chase theme as usual, but... Oh, wait a minute. Why am I... Oh wait, do I have the... Yeah, I guess I have Emily's gun now, as well as my own infinite magnum, or handgun. I also have an infinite magnum, you know, I have all of these things, but... I have my... oh shit. My own personal version of the shitty... infinite ammo pistol, but I also have Emily's version of the shitty infinite ammo pistol. This does seem like, you know, out of all the games that have a shitty infinite ammo pistol, that you get a shit like your basic standard issue thing that you have just so you can get through the game. This seems like one where it is particularly useful now. I do remember that carrying me through most of the game when I played it the first time. It really seems more useful than the shitty standard issue infinite ammo pistol that you get in Resident Evil Gaiden, though, from what little I remember of that game. That game was just like pretty ridiculous. Inherently. Assault rifle bullets, which I don't even remember if we never found that. We probably did. We might even have a infinite ammo version of it somewhere, but if we do, it doesn't look like we're carrying it around right now, so I'll just pay it no mind right now. Too many shotgun shells though, as usual. So where are we going? It does look like the layout has changed. Once again... What am I doing? I can just do this and that'll be much faster. Stabilizer. I feel like if you know a game well enough and you've gotten to the point where you can just look at consumables that drop from enemies and just be like, eh, I don't need this, I'll just leave it. I know exactly why I don't need this. Is this Thomas's desk? I don't know, is it Thomas's desk? Was that Thomas's desk in the regular world? We know this was Emily's desk. Which apparently still has her jars of candy and cookies and stuff. Well, the room over here, if this is the officer room, this would be more or less the equivalent to George's room, but also looking pretty different in this version. It's upside down. And so is this one. We'll have to shoot them, surely. I mean, they also don't have horns. No, we do have to shoot them, I guess. Horns or antlers, I suppose, if you want to be a stickler about it. Doors jammed with multiple deer antlers. Or is not an option here. Well, I mean, which direction does the door open in? Because it kind of looks like if it opens away from where we're standing right now, we could probably just open it and then crawl under the two sets of antlers on top, using the space that we created by opening up the one on the bottom, and that would probably work quite well. And even more so now. We could probably even just go through the door standing, but no, as usual, we will make a very, very conscious effort to be thorough. Shoot you from over here. I suppose we should have seen this coming sooner, though. Like, I suppose George, especially after looking at a room like this, does seem like the kind of guy who can unironically say, I use handlers in all of my decorating. I guess he just heard me say that, because here it comes. I mean, I know we're not gonna be running away from him, because just like go back to the same open rooms that we were just in. I went in there, and yet we have this long hallway. Surely there isn't anything else we can do. Over here, the door wasn't locked, though. See, this is playing mind games, being like, yeah, the very plot significant killer went through this door, and yet there's another door even further on that we can also go through. That probably is the actual way forward. But Thomas makes me so cruel sometimes. I guess it's Thomas's desk again. Can we take Thomas's biscuit? I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the best healing item in the game overall, and yet you don't really get very many chances to acquire it throughout the game. But it's a little like the golden mushrooms in... oh shit. In Superstar Saga, I was gonna say where they're so rare that you're probably just never gonna want to use them. Now just think about going, oh shit, okay, we have to actually move through a room instead of just clicking our way. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, time out real quick. Because I couldn't help but notice that the weather doll wasn't in effect anymore, so we're gonna have to pop that so we can actually be sure that we're using it. I can't forget about these agent honors while we're en route to trying to stop the killer. What happens if we try to shoot him? Oh, well, something happens, but I get the feeling that doesn't actually do shit at this point. I'll just have to get close. Somehow he managed to flee. Well, I mean, you saw exactly how he did it. He just went through the door. That doesn't seem particularly hard to explain. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't really look like it would have reached us, regardless. Actually, it gets small. Okay, we definitely don't need this. I don't think we need cola. I guess we can send it to a toolbox, though. This purple cola. Actually, we don't need to dodge this every time. Every single one of these he throws, but... showdown time with him is close, because now we have a somewhat less strained opportunity to actually look around the room, but I suppose we did enough of that already that we don't actually have any more to find now. This looks familiar. Didn't we already do like literally one room like this? Not here, but in another one of the other world maps. Unless it was actually the same. No, I don't think we did another world map of the police station before the one that we have to do to, Well, we did in the previous chapter, basically. The one where we find Carol at the end, I guess. Guess we must have just done this either in the gallery in the real world or in the police station in the real world. But this might be the first time we're doing this in a place like this. That has this kind of precise layout in the red world. Question is, which of these is gonna have something useful, if any? There does seem to be quite a few of these that are just empty. That one being no exception. This one is locked. I don't think we would have the key we're looking for now, surely. This one is not locked. And this might be a sign of the crawling shadows coming back. Unfortunately, we do know how to deal with them. Oh, there are crawling shadows coming back. I guess it didn't show up this time. But if we have to double back through there, we probably, yeah, probably gonna have to deal with them in just a moment. Could sleep, but who needs sleep? You know, the eternal question. Curvy-tailed squirrel. Flying squirrel keys. Well, it's a bit of a throwback and a half, isn't it? This time we don't get a lecture about the different types of squirrels, so... And I get the feeling this might be a good time to bring out the legendary guitar. A guitar that we should rejoice that we're able to use while we can. While it's relevant to our... Oh shit. Damn it. I thought it was gonna be out of range of that. I forgot which button actually lets you run for a moment. I thought there might be a different button to help you dodge, but no, that's just quick time event stuff. You know, we've put up with that. Are you material right now? I suppose you're not, no. No, I have to bait you into doing the grab again and then try this again. Oh, okay, come on. Okay, the reach on this grab is actually kind of ridiculous. I guess what I'll do is bait the beginning of that and then immediately try to run behind the shadow that think that worked. Yeah, okay, when I did this before. And now we try to get the fucking hitbox to... fuck. To actually work with me here, unless the ceiling is like legitimately... Oh, there we go, never mind. Unless the ceiling is legitimately too high for me to be able to do this, I was gonna say, but... Suppose that shows what I know. Wait, friendo, I'm right here, come on. I need you to work with me here. There we go. Because I have to. And I did get a key, but now that we're done with that, let's continue to seek the most efficient approach for each and every one of these hostile encounters. I do have a key now. No. Okay, this guy actually did pop ahead a little bit geographically. Well, I believe we already passed a room with computers and desks like that one, but... Oh dear, I don't know if we passed a room with fire enemies like that though. Well, the kind of enemies that just spawn behind the fire barrier specifically so they can be baited into trying to throw themselves at you, but then they just die immediately. It's not like the fire is being very beneficial to them in the long run. Here's someone over there. I don't know if it's gonna be particularly worthwhile to try and go here, but apparently the answer is yes. The danger was a fake out. There was no actual danger, and I got more agent hunters, so I do feel my need to explore being vindicated with every passing moment. Do we have no, I guess we don't. A full stock of chocolate in our inventory right now. Do we have no. I mean, we absolutely do have a full stock of small first aid kits on both the inventory and oh shit, the toolbox, but tell you what we don't have, a need to pick more of those up. I just think about going forward. Just think about oh gosh. Think about trying to deal with the obstacles that are very surreptitiously placed in your way. Oh fuck, okay. I didn't realize that thing would boomerang back at me. Can't believe the Raincoat Killer can guide his axes with his very own power of will. In the Raincoat Killer legend here, Sec. Well, before we do that, York, we do need to take a moment to see what we missed by not going this way. Oh, not an awful lot left to discover in that room beyond whatever you find in the boxes, I suppose, but... As for this, can we go through this door? Looks like the door wasn't locked. Then what's up with the hallway that goes in that direction? What's the deal here? Oh, it's Emily's desk. In another spookier, more emphatic version, I suppose. Emphatic about the fact that they're showing you that, I suppose, Emily and Thomas are significant, even though I didn't even realize, or... Emily's bagel sandwich covers both hunger and tiredness, but makes them increase again faster, okay. Also just gives you an excuse to grab these unique food items. If only there was a way to dupe items like in Dragon's Dogma or something, but... Well, then again, in Dragon's Dogma, the thing about the duped items is that they're not actually as good as the originals. Well, of course, if there is in fact something like an item duplication glitch in this game, which I wouldn't be surprised if there was. Afraid I'm not familiar with what that is. Oh boy, here we are. Might be... Okay, never mind, I thought... See, I'm looking for something... Looking out for a very particular set piece, which I know for a fact is at the very end of this chapter before... Well, not at the very end, but... Let's say it marks the beginning of the very end of the chapter. And it's rather poignant what you see and what you hear when you get to that part, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Oh boy. Did you come to your realization? Okay, who's trying to shoot me? Is it you? Are we on the other end of the shooting range? I suppose that's a gimmick at this point. Yeah, please don't interrupt my very apropos directed shooting. Perhaps I shall do some shooting on my own when it comes to identifying the targets on the other side of these barriers. That I believe I am quite good at. Oh shit. God. Might be because I finished playing Earth Defense Force 5 recently, but I keep like, whenever York is running around like this, I keep expecting him to have like a little circle around him that will extend his item collection range for these agent honors and stuff. Yes, honors, that's correct. No. Agent honors and whatever else. Well, I mean, agent honors are like the only types of things that you can actually pick up just by touching them. All the others you have to go through the motions. Now we're back in the cell area, maybe, but... Ooh. Okay, let's try not to fuck up at this point. We are... you know, quite fortunate and quite skilled to have been able to come all the way here to this room. Do we have to go in there? I guess we do have to go in there because we can't keep going on this way. To this room, to this stage, to this part of the game without having done any continues, and I don't know, it feels like that last encounter was just to screw with you in that sense in a way. Oh, well, looks like we're here. We're gonna be spending a couple minutes in this room, I expect. These are like stone slabs with pictures of combination padlocks on them. That's a little strange. I don't believe I noticed those before. Oh god, I keep forgetting. There's only 4 buttons to reasonably choose from with the shoulders, and well, there's 2 shoulders and 2 triggers, that's what they're supposed to be called, but I get the feeling that the actual controls that I have for the shoulders versus the triggers are not necessarily in line with what's expected, quote unquote. Instead of using L2 to aim and R2 to shoot, I'm using L1 to aim and R1 to shoot. I don't know, that does feel like the thing that... like the way that I would be playing this if... Actually, never mind, I was gonna say something that doesn't make any sense. I was gonna talk about a controller that doesn't have more than one of those types of buttons in the same place. Not just a GameCube controller. Unless, of course, you're gonna argue that... that the C button on the GameCube controller counts as a shoulder button, but which in some cases you might, but let's not get overly hung up on that. Let's focus a little on how similar this song sounds to the Laura Palmer theme from Twin Peaks. Well, we'll be spending a few minutes just trying to shoot everything in the cubbies and trying to grab all of the agent owners on the stairs themselves. Oh. Well, I feel like I actually wanted to try picking that up to see if that would help me at all. But I don't know what for. I'm completely at the point where I'm unusually distracted. But more importantly, we are here at the top. We have a ton of fun. A phone. Why am I saying stuff like weird at this point? Let's wait a few more seconds for the song to play out, and I kind of want to find out what happens if I wait for it to loop, which it probably will. Yeah, it will. Doesn't sound like a particularly seamless loop either, but I suppose now that we're actually getting out of that room. Let's say goodbye to the music again, but we're probably gonna say hello to something a lot more interesting, as we'll see. What could it be? Even the rainy terrace past the giant stairwell in the evil world.
Welcome to Greenvale, Agent Francis York Morgan.
Ah, I finally got to see the real Greenvale.
I knew you country folk were shy. It took you long enough to show me who you really are.
York, this is a wonderful and powerful town. Especially when it is raining.
I always get depressed when it rains. Especially in this town.
This town has two great treasures. Do you know what they are, York?
Those seeds are one of them. But I don't think they deserve to be called a treasure.
An ordinary man like you could never appreciate their true value. But you'll agree with my selection on the second treasure, anyway.
I don't disagree with treasure number 2. Emily sparkles like a precious gem.
This town changed since she came here. The goddess from the city gave us the fruit of knowledge and gave us sin. When I first saw her, I realized I was such a fool. A fool for being satisfied by the petty girls from this countryside town.
George, I agree you were a fool, and you are a fool, even now.
Shut it, York! You're the fool here. Becky, Diane, and Carol. They all died right in front of you. You couldn't save even one of them. Not even one. You're the worthless fool here, and that's what proves it. But me, unlike you, I am strong. I have power. My mother taught me, the strong, who can overpower others, is always correct and right. My mother stepped on my face with her stiletto heels because she had power. And when her heel pierced my cheek, I learned to respect her. Since then, I obtained power of my own and found my own disciples. I became divine. All I need now is that goddess of fate and grab her with my hands. I want Emily in her stiletto heels.
You're out of your mind. The goddess won't smile for you anymore, George.
York, have you ever shot down a deer? Oh, it's so different from shooting Deer hunting is great. They can be erotic creatures. Those black eyes, firm hips, and slender legs. Hunting is a sign of power, especially deer hunting. Did you know, York? From time to time, there's a family of deer that comes down to the graveyard. I shot them full of bullets, and they still remain standing. First, I thought they were zombies, but when I snuck up on one and cut its stomach out, I found the truth. The red seeds. Those seeds made those deer invincible.
George, no Olympics for you. You'll fail the doping test. You'd be good food for wild animals, though.
Shut your crap, York. I have these seeds because I chose them. They came to me, and that proves my divinity.
This is the mark my mother gave me. Proof of power. The red tree.
The red tree? You've got that all wrong, George. That's the mark of child abuse.
That's no use, York. Carol's death gave me eternal strength. It's surging through my body. I can no longer be killed. York, aren't you honored? You'll be the first to congratulate me for my new powers.
Well, even though we only heard about that whole immortality shebang in the document that we fished up from the waterfall, but nope, this is finally happening. The only place in the game where you get to hear this little ditty, even though it'll be quite simple to associate it with this moment once you witnessed it for yourself. Oh, shit. Oh, we better waggle the controller, maybe that helps us get up faster. It's definitely an easy song to remember, though, if you're so determined. But no, let's do this a little differently, shall we? Now it seems like apparently being struck, beaten, abused repeatedly on a part of your body does not make that the most stable.
I'm the chosen one.
Most stable thing to have on you. Plenty more, but what does he mean by that exactly?
Becky involved was all too easy. Carol and Thomas built a secret club for me. All we had to do was tell them about it, and they were giddy to join us immediately. And that's where I used the seeds on Anna and Becky. Amazing results, let me tell you. They went berserk, like cats in heat. Anna, especially, enjoyed the seeds. So I made my decision. She would be the first sacrifice for my immortality.
George, your poetic prose is a bit confusing. Let me reword this so it makes sense. You chose Anna as your first victim, so you could be a first-degree murderer. And you framed Thomas so it looked like he did it.
You saw him, didn't you? All made up. The poor fellow.
He knew that he was only being treated as a substitute for Emily. He knew that. And Carol knew too. But they played along with your sick games.
Oh my, you're making me cry. He's the one who told me about the Raincoat Killer. About how to become divine, too. He didn't believe any of it, but when he told me, it all made sense. Why was I born in such a run-down dump? Why did my mother beat me every day? Why didn't Emily want me? All these things were just preparing me for something more. Ultimate power! Ah!
And by ultimate power I might mean something that might inspire something as outlandish as well, a few different things, but something that could be described as a Street Fighter 2 blank eye edit.
With an imagination like that, you belong in the zoo. The Hollywood Zoo.
An imagination that can let you see something like this and face it yourself, but now apparently he's totally upgraded that, but not only upgraded to shiny white light hair, but also to two-sided, two-bladed axes. Well, I think we know. I think he knows too that, you know, we're onto this whole strategy. So we have to act a little bit differently to actually capitalize on that. Well, two-bladed axes, but I guess one of the blades is more about just a torrent of blue light. You scum, oh boy. I don't think that there would be any, like, instant kill risk attacks or anything like that in this fight, but let's not try and take that risk, can we?
Let's settle this, York.
To do the backswing and all that time. He does seem to be clever enough to not expose that any more than he has to. I gotta be honest, it's like one of the haziest parts of the game for me, if you can imagine why. This moment does seem like it goes by relatively quick in the scope of a wall run, yet there's definitely a few details about it that come into play if you ever do find yourself drawn back into it. Oh, okay. And take this, even though you were already in the process of shooting me. I thought, okay, so the hitbox for the... No, the mark is wonky as well. To no insignificant measure. But...
Mama, I didn't do anything bad. Why? Why are you doing this to me? It wasn't me. I didn't do anything. I know to apologize to Premonition. I know I did it with you, but still. It's the one that gave me the wonderful present! And it filled me with confidence! And that was when I realized... that I am blessed! York! No, you haven't. No right to hold on to it.
You mean this? Why are you so concerned about this locket?
I told you I'm the Chosen One. Only the Chosen One can own that locket. That's what he told me. Haha! I am special! I am!
Okay, that doesn't look like we can move anymore. So that only leaves us with a few options. What the hell is going on? I feel like that maybe a few acts too far into be asking that question, but after repeatedly striking the double axe where one side is just blue fire.
How can this be? I'm divine!
No. You're a first-degree murderer. And I'm a federal agent. George, of course you're going to lose.
And apparently it's not having the axe embedded in your chest that does it, but it's when that axe starts to act as a very efficient lightning rod. So efficient that it sucked away all the clouds in a moment. And hey, wouldn't you know it, just like in Berserker Falls, that very poignant boss fight ended up taking place on a rooftop. Somewhat. Can't believe this is exactly like Berserker Falls, where the big villain ends up being revealed and comes at you with a obnoxious bladed instrument. Oh yeah, hold on. There's one thing I think I have to check real quick. Okay, yeah. Can't forget to turn around here. And grab the Valentine Morgan card, which I believe should be the final card that we have to worry about before we actually get to the post-game. Well,
You will also be able to return back soon.
Let's make our way through some more of this.
Very soon, you'll be able to go back to where you came from.
And yet, I didn't really know that we're gonna be actually going all the way to the end right now, but we've certainly come far. Well, by the end, I mean the point at which you can bring the game to its end, not the point at which everything is done. That's definitely not happening right now, but... Guess we'll just go to the parade of all the people who have been killed. Are they present in the order in which they were killed? Is this Diane? I think it is, even though she wasn't much of the awkwardly giggle type. And if this is Carol, then I guess the Yeah, the order was swept around a bit for these last two that we're about to see here. Because who else do we get up ahead? And who do we get even further beyond?
You also need to have more fun. I'll play with you a little if you like.
Yeah, perhaps not. I might be a little bit more curious about these very conspicuously shadow-faced people.
Expect no praise. You did nothing but your duty.
I don't even know if I did pick up the cards during these, like, Red World, Dream World, little York segments.
Well done.
You should know who these are.
I'm sure your father wants to congratulate you.
Well, now she's doing the finger wag animation, but, I mean, we already spoke to the father and he said, nope. You just did what was expected of you, just forget it. I'm pretty sure we can just literally just go back and get the same bit of dialogue from him again.
Expect no praise.
Yeah, there you go. But now there's a reason things haven't come to an end. It has to do with the very poignant way that George was talking about. There being something else going on in the later parts of that encounter, but right now...
I'm sorry, but I can't allow you to go with your parents yet. There is still something you need to do. Open that envelope.
That envelope there. Accept talk.
There is still something you need to do. Open that envelope.
Washington. The heel, accept. Take item. Well, I guess we need to take item to actually do the thing. What if we do accept though? What are we accepting? We are accepting the fact that Emily is present and completely vacant in her expression. Well, perhaps this envelope will have the answers. Or perhaps what the envelope will do is that the background of the loading screen is now white.
Agent York, finally you're awake.
How long have I been out?
A whole day, plus 10 hours or so. I wanted to challenge you to a game, but you were asleep.
Emily. Which room is Emily in?
Emily? What, she hurt too? She hasn't come into the hospital.
What? I told Kaysen to bring her here.
Kaysen? Well, Kaysen came. I mean, he's the one who brought you here. Which reminds me. He asked me to give you this.
What is it?
I don't know. He just asked me to hand it to you after you woke up. Anyway, you solved the case, right? Hey, do you want to play some chess?
Sorry. I'll have to take a rain check. I have an urgent issue I need to attend to, and I need to leave the hospital.
Zach, I have a bad feeling about this.
Well, yeah, it'd be pretty hard to be thrilled about that situation, but I don't remember exactly what happens next. I suppose I know there's one more place I have to go to actually find a card. I was slightly off on the card in the dream being the last one that's before post-game, but We got the key from Kaysen. That's part of what was in the... yeah. In the message along with this map, but now we're in Spooktown mode. Are these all of our cars? Are they like here? Okay, I wasn't expecting to find that. Focus on the investigation, no way. I suppose we're gonna focus on the investigation by trying to get in a car. Oh shit. Wait a minute. I feel like we're, might be a reason why we're not able to move around very well right now. It's because, yeah, we get a bit of a situation out here.
Zach, I'm getting a really bad feeling about all this.
Only just now.
George was the murderer that we were after. But killing him, of course, does not solve all the murders related to the Red Seeds. I do not know if what Harry said is true at all. But the answer to the mystery of those Red Seeds is here in this town. I'm sure of that.
Oh dear. Yeah, we're...
As an FBI agent, I left Emily alone as I slept through an entire day. Zach, I need you to pray with me. Pray that things have not gone too far.
Oh dear.
All we can do is go to the location written in Kaysen's letter.
Oh shit, okay. Well, as long as we can get out of the corner here. There. That was interesting, but it's no less than I would expect from... what we have come to know of this game. So hopefully we don't get any more interesting encounters with the doggos like that might spawn out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure that if you like stay out really late at night and just kind of muck around in the town, we can actually run into those giant hell spawns, maybe just in certain areas that they spawn at late at night, but I'm pretty sure that if you stay up like past midnight, or just a little longer past midnight, you get the sort of evil hour where if you are just out and exploring the town at that point, you get the shadows spawning everywhere. Well, it's been a while since I actually brought up the select thing to zoom the map in, but I'm pretty sure there's like a distinction between the period when the regular shadows start spawning and when the dogs can actually spawn. But then there is this period near the end of the game where you have to at least witness the dogs and hopefully not get pinned to the corner by them like I was for a bit. Oh, I'm not even sure if this is where I want to go, honestly. This might not be. Well managed. We have unlimited gas and unlimited car integrity. So... oh shit. Oh boy. Oh yeah, these doggos are also quite a bit more durable, though, than the shadows, as you might have figured out. It's a better idea to just try and get away, which can be easier said than done, depending on where they decide to spawn when you're in a situation like this. Oh. I was just gonna hope you don't get stuck in the geometry like this. But here we are at the place we're supposed to be, which is... if you remember... oh shit, it's a place that we're gonna have some difficulty getting to, considering that just happened. I will be more careful next time. I will do what I can this next time. But we're just gonna ignore the fact that there's a giant dog right behind us as we get out of the car. To get over here, which is George's house.
George's house?
What a surprise. I mean, you probably could have told that this is where you were coming if you were able to get enough out of the map to let you know what the location was, but yeah, we were never allowed to come in here or even look inside before. Kind of notorious for being one of the few houses in town that has an interior that it actually applies to.
This is most strange, Zach. I thought this story was all over. But it looks like there's something else before we get to see the ending.
No, there is indeed. It is a king castle, I assume. Why does need to display power? Something you'll never understand. Well, I mean, I don't think having your house be all boarded up and empty and dilapidated is really a display of power. Shouldn't be getting sentimental, Zach. I got work to do. And also listen to the what music coming from the radio or whatever that is. What is underneath here? Oh, music just goes away. Oh, let's remove this one. What am I supposed to be looking for, by the way? There should be one more card we can find somewhere in here, so I think I'll try to get through that. Never mind the fact that there's just mannequins. Blank torso mannequins just laid out here. First aid kit medium, which we cannot pick up at all because we have far too many of those. Something back here, naturally, but before we start messing with that... Oh, I can literally see the symbol for the card over there. I don't know what direction we have to go to actually find it. Which is appreciated, but... What are these blue tarps exactly? Are they hanging like a curtain, or are they taped to the walls? I'll just reach into a toilet like in Silent Hill 2 and add the stuffed deer to the collection. Like that you can decorate every part of your house, even the inside of your toilet, with a deer head. Really shows dedication. Oh. Well, there was no hole behind the tarp, but there was the potential to create one. I suppose down here is where this music is coming from. Kind of. Here in these perfectly spaced scribblings on the walls. And these pictures of Emily, probably. Of which kind of just make you question.
Looks like George really had a thing for Emily.
How were they taken and acquired by George without Emily knowing? Kind of makes you think. There's a crack in the wall. Well, we could also just push this and skip the observation process. I don't think Emily needs to see it, yeah. What's up in front of the bed? King's bed doesn't look comfortable. Well, it could have been sleeping in that bed upstairs that's like flanked by mannequins, but... I suppose it would be more in character for him to be on the bed that's literally not a bed, it's just a frame with no mattress down here. Well, let's find out what's waiting over there, shall we? Certainly couldn't be another little detail that would coincide with what ended up happening with Thomas, in a way. And now with George in a perhaps different and yet similarly fitting thematic fashion.
Meeting the mother is always a bad experience after killing the son.
Bit of a nod to block, if you will, but
Zach, look.
I think you need to make that thing cast a shadow to realize what kind of shape it has. But yeah, I thought we had already come to this realization quite a while back.
Wasn't a reversed peace mark. It's a tree. Red tree. F. K. Kaysen. Forrest Kaysen. He's the one? Emily.
Well, once again, the question is raised of how Kaysen had the opportunity to set every part of this up, but was he expecting York to be harassed by the giant dogs while he was driving over here? I would say that's a significant question. 440, we got over 40k, not counting all the amount that we've already spent on the bonus cars and stuff, so yeah, we're very much locked into super finale territory now. I don't believe there's very much at all. Let's see if this sec view works. I have to do, well, nope, this one won't work either. What a shame. Oh well, maybe I can find out what the other sec views are before we get into this next part, but speaking of that, I think that's probably gonna be where we end up calling things for now. It's back in 1956. But this next chapter that's set between what we've just witnessed and the actual last confrontation, but well, we can, I guess, have a quick sneak peek of what we can see again. Or what we're gonna see when we come back to this. Seeing that we already caught a glimpse of once the original Raincoat Killer that was apparently Harry's father back in 56. But who was just a particularly strong dude, affected by the same insanity serum that the rest of the town was, and you get to play as him for a while. I don't think he even has, well, I mean, he has health, but yeah. And you hear some interesting things, including this song, and if you're like me, you come to the realization that you can't actually, oh dear, can't actually go into the pause menu here, which I guess makes sense from a certain design perspective, but it does make it awkward to try and shut things down if you kind of intend to at this point, so I guess I'll just tap this button on the old PlayStation 3, which I am absolutely playing this on, and hope that the save that I just did worked, because, like I said, I think that's where we're gonna be killing things for now. So that I can actually come back and pop this one more time and not only do the finale but also all of the, well, I say all of the stuff that we have left to do in the whatchamacallit, to in the epilogue, the post game, to actually get 100%, which is not that much, but it might be a little yada yada. I don't know what the worst, what the most appropriate word to describe what I'm trying to think of would be, but oh shit. But yeah, should definitely be able to fit all that into one final stream, probably. Which I might try to. Well, I said this exact same thing last week and then I didn't end up doing it because I didn't find a very good opportunity, but just go ahead and pop this again. It's very kind of contrasting song that was played before we started the game. And which is now coming back, but yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, there's probably a couple of things that are going to be happening this weekend that I'm going to be wanting to watch out for, but there might be an opportunity that would be quite fitting, yeah, if I were to do it this week in particular, I think. Possibly, potentially, enough that I would probably want to devote that time to it, yeah. To see if I can do another stream of the Premonition sometime, either tomorrow or on Sunday, just so I can, I'll try to figure out exactly when I can do it, so I can finish off Deadly Premonition, basically. Maybe possibly just end up taking up another one of the handful of stream games that I've never finished, and so I try to follow up on that as well, and maybe eventually do something else as well. Wouldn't that be something? But yeah, I'll try to figure out when I can do that. Like I said, hopefully this weekend. So I can put a ball on Deadly Premonition at least. But yeah, thanks for coming, everyone. That's what I would usually say. Well, it's not how I usually say it. Let's see if I can remember my usual spiel, which is I thank you for coming, like always. Thanks for chatting, always great when other people chat. Thanks once again to the Midnights for the raid. If you would be willing to stick around for just a few minutes longer, I might find a quick raid to do myself. I think that would probably be a fairly easy thing right now. Looking at a few things over here, it looks like Captain K's live playing Honkai Star Rail, which is a thing that he plays with some regularity now these days. I think he does a couple of the MiHoYo games, being this and Genshin Impact. I say a couple as if I knew that there were more with considerable certainty, which I don't even know. I don't even know if I would be able to name another single one if there are more, which there might very well be, but that's a whole other can of worms. So, but yeah, to recap, if you join me for the raid of Captain K, that would be very nice. If not, that is fine as well, and I will try my darndest to figure out if there's time sometime this weekend that I can do another Deadly Premonition stream so that I can finish it off, and hopefully I can, but basically, once again, friends, thanks everyone for hanging out, popping into the stream, and I will be seeing you later.